Hey guys, welcome back to Deeper Than Most. I'm your host Sav.
And I'm your host DJ.
And today is episode 12.
12.
Yes, and we have...
Nah, it's episode 11 part 2 because fuck 12.
Straight up. Straight up. But on that note, it is also an FNC series episode today. And this one is California, correct?
Yes.
And this is the Zodiac Killer. And I know, this case or this killer is just very saturated, I guess you could say. Like, it's just watered down. Like, everybody knows about the Zodiac Killer, I feel like. I don't know, I could be wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But it's still notable, and it's still part of this little journey through the 50 states. So, California, this is yours.
But before we get into that good stuff, let's talk about today's intro topics. So the first one we got is police reform in strides. Biden and congressional Democrats are pushing for George Floyd Justice and Policing Act. So
that's good.
We might actually be getting something out of this whole deal. What the fuck?
Babe, why is there a piece of metal in my spinach?
I don't fucking know. Progressives celebrated the guilty verdict of Chauvin, but President Biden stated the guilty verdicts were a step forward, but the overall guilty verdicts in these type of cases are much too rare and not enough.
And that's a fact.
Yeah.
And they know that that's a fact.
Right.
But they're just now starting to acknowledge that.
Right.
That this is a thing and this needs to be acknowledged, honestly.
And it's good that somebody's trying to do something.
Hold on, because we don't do no promos unless it's paid. Can you please assist, please?
Legislation was introduced on the 24th of February and is aimed to be passed by May 25th, which is the anniversary of Floyd's death. As a deadline for getting an agreement on the Floyd Act, Biden has been putting tremendous pressure on Congress to act on this.
And I'm glad.
As he should. And it's pretty cool because...
I'm so glad. It's just, we still haven't gotten justice for Breonna Taylor.
Yeah.
And I'm confused about that.
As you should be, because, like, I'm trying to understand, like, so y'all not...
Yeah, is that not a priority?
Right.
I mean, I'm, like, super happy about this, but... I mean, hey. It's only the beginning,
right,
I guess.
It's a step somewhere. It says the act will include a number of significant reforms, and I only listed like a few of them, because there's actually a lot that goes into it. Mm-hmm. But the few that the few that I noted are a national registry of police misconduct to stop officers from escaping consequences by moving jurisdictions. Because, you know, like, usually somebody will do something and then they'll go and get a job, like, in the city over or, like, whatever. So,
yeah, and it's just nothing. Like, it's super easy.
Right. It'll enhance accountability for police officers who commit misconduct. So if somebody does something crazy, then they're going to be held accountable for it.
Yeah, because all this time, for some reason, they haven't.
Right. And it'll restrict the transfer of military equipment to police, which is actually really big because the police...
Why do they have military equipment anyway? They're not military, they're police.
Yeah, the police have been really getting a lot of military-esque things. So...
Especially out here in Oregon with the protests.
Yeah, they be throwing tear gas.
Let us know, guys, if anybody lives in a different country or a different state in the U.S., you know, like, what's going on where you live? Are people protesting? Are people upset? Are people happy? What's just going on where you live? Because where we live, these folks mad.
Right.
And, you know, there's been a lot of demonstrations and just a lot of political things going on. The tension is definitely high where we are right now, but
so are we.
We don't care. And we're gonna be black and proud all day, every day. So it's nothing.
Black until I'm in the ground, baby.
I swear, and even then.
All right.
So the next one is actually really cool and pertaining to where we live. Once again, this is the power of the magic mushroom. So if you don't know what a psilocybin mushroom is, basically is like a psychedelic. Can I call it a drug on YouTube?
I wouldn't.
It's a psychedelic enhancer. Yes, perfect. And it can be used for many things. And out here in Portland, out here in Oregon, in Oregon, they decriminalized all drugs out here.
Yeah, it's all drugs.
Okay, yeah. All drugs are basically like okay out here. They're legal. But Oregon just recently legalized magic mushrooms in November of last year. I wonder if it was on my birthday.
It was around there.
Really?
I believe so. It's either your birthday week or like the week after, I think.
So, not too long ago. Damn, but it's about to be soon. We're almost to like June, guys.
Oh yeah, it is like the middle of the
like halfway through the year already.
That's crazy.
And it flew by. It still feels like January. You'll only be able to use them with a licensed professional. So, in what sense are we talking? We're talking about for therapy, correct?
Yeah.
So, Oregon made it legal to consume psychedelic mushrooms while doing therapy. And I find this just very interesting because, everybody needs treatment in a different way.
Right.
And something like a psychedelic, something that expands your mind, something that opens your eyes to the world that's really around you. And I put like a heavy emphasis on what's really around you because everybody handles things differently. And so when you're able to just completely like release and open up and be accepting to what is, I feel like there's a better chance of you getting better. There's a better chance of you actually healing from past trauma, or the therapy can do what the therapy needs to do, for certain people, because some people therapy just isn't it. But if you were to add something like that, something that allows them to open up and be vulnerable to the past and like whatever trauma or anything they're going through, or even current, like I feel like this is a really cool option to have.
It's interesting that they did that though, because I remember I don't remember, but like I've read about, them doing trials on hallucinogens and psychedelics, back in the 60s and 70s for this specific reason, actually. So it's kind of fun to see that they're, moving forward with it and actually trying to use it.
It's actually coming to fruition.
Mm-hmm.
So the thing about it is, you can't to buy them at a store, take them home to use, or grow them yourself. So you would have to get it from, get it prescribed.
Yeah, it's literally a prescription.
Oh, wow. That's kind of cool, though. But still, just because it's a prescription doesn't mean other people aren't going to be doing what they do with other drugs. But anyways, Oregon is in a 2-year development period in which a state advisory board is ironing out the rules and regulations for psilocybin therapy. That is just so cool. That just sounds futuristic. The therapy can be used to treat conditions like anxiety and depression without the use of prescription meds. That's nice.
It is nice. Very nice.
That's really nice. I wonder how they go about controlling the situation, though. Like, a trip goes for a long time. How long do they expect these people to be at their therapy session for? Because I gotta go. I got stuff to do.
But I feel like they're gonna, like, microdose as opposed to, like, giving them, like, entire... I don't know. It just depends on how they do it.
That's true. They're probably not going on like a full-blown trip. But even if you were to microdose and take a smaller amount, like that doesn't shorten the time.
Oh, no. It doesn't. But I mean, you'll still
decreases
get
the effects.
You'll still get the effects, but like in a smaller dosage. that you can probably handle. That's why it has to be done.
But I'm saying about the time, because trips be lasting forever.
Or at least that's what it feels like.
January 2023 is the deadline for the program to be up and running. So board members have got a while to iron out the rules as more research about magic shrooms emerges.
Much.
So, what, January 2023, they're just going to stop it completely?
They might roll it out by then.
What do you mean?
They might just start, like, prescribing the shit.
Oh, so they haven't started prescriptions yet?
No. It says it's the deadline for the program to be up and running. They're trying to make sure it's started by then.
Oh, okay. So this is just what they're aiming towards.
Yes.
Okay, got you. See, I misunderstood that. I thought that it was already legal.
I mean, it is, but they're talking in terms of, like, getting it getting prescriptions and, like, starting the programs and, like, getting it out there and stuff like that.
Before we get into today's case or criminal, I just want to ask, like, how are you holding up? How are you doing?
Ooh, damn.
I haven't seen you much the past couple of weeks.
I'm
Our schedules have been conflicting lately,
we've been
so
all over the place, man.
yeah.
But
how's life been treating you?
honestly, life has been okay. Like, in terms of, like, the blessings that I've gotten and, like, the place that I've been here lately, it's been good. It's been real good. A little hectic at times, but I mean, good for the most part. What about you?
Things have been chill. I've been feeling a little less motivated about school. I still haven't finished this one project I have to do.
Well, you know,
that was due like 2 days ago.
Ooh, well, you know,
so yeah, and it's like the end of this class, like the last week or whatever. Mm-hmm. But I'm gonna push through, and I've been feeling really good towards the end of this week.
That's good.
I'd say the beginning of this week wasn't really all that for me. It just wasn't for me. Yeah. So I think I'm ending things off on a good note, or starting my next week off on a good note.
That's good.
Yeah, I'm just happy to be alive.
Hell yeah, man. Sometimes it be like that. Life gets hectic, and then, you know, it just mellows out. It's the natural order.
Yeah, definitely. And how are you guys today?
Hopefully
how's life treating you? Are you enjoying the sun or the rain, wherever you are?
It's been beautiful these past couple of days.
It has. I've been enjoying it. Like, I've just been enjoying it. Any way that I can. Like, I try to get outside and just sit outside for a little bit and just take a deep breath, enjoy the fresh air, and just say to myself, bitch, everything is gonna be okay. Everything is gonna be all right. It's not the end of the world. Put a smile on your face and pick your head up.
Oops, sorry. Some days, like, when I'm off, I'll go out to the waterfront and just, like, sit by the water.
Oh, yeah. And you love water, so that's, like, super relaxing, I'm sure.
It's great.
And that's what we're gonna go do today. We're going on a picnic poke bowl date today.
Yeah, you know, if you guys are in a relationship, I definitely suggest making little flashcards or, like, popsicle sticks or whatever, like, date ideas. Just to, like...
That's what we do. Well, I found it on Pinterest, really.
Just to, like, you know, stay into each other. Because a lot of people, like, what they'll do, they'll get in relationships and then, like, they just lose it over time, you know?
Yeah, that is true. And plus, like, with our schedules being so conflicting right now, we don't see each other often. But we always have this one day every week. Yeah. Like, we both have the same day off, and that's Friday. So that's our filming day where we take care of you guys. And then it's just kind of like our little TLC day, and we try to just make it about us and really, like, treat ourselves for making it through the week. And today, well, earlier in the week, I pulled a popsicle stick, and it said picnic poke bowl day. So that's what we're doing today. And we're going to do it, like, in this big old park. It is by the water, right?
I mean, yeah, you can see the water from it, yeah.
It's not super close to the water, but you can see the water. But it's so beautiful over there, so stay tuned for pictures, guys. If you listen to the podcast or watch the podcast and for some reason haven't followed our social media or checked us out, definitely do that, because we do keep you guys updated, and you can send in requests and all that good stuff.
The link tree is in the description below if you're watching this on YouTube.
Yeah, I'll put the link tree in there for sure. if you're watching it on YouTube, or even if you're listening to it on a podcast platform, in the description, that link tree will be linked. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump into the Zodiac Killer. And this is FNC part 6, right?
Yes. Go.
FNC series part 5 or 6. I'm gonna have to go back and look because I don't know.
We'll get there.
Anyways,
either way, it's
so
part of the series. The Mysterious Boogeyman. The self-proclaimed Zodiac Killer was directly linked to at least 5 murders in NorCal from the late 1960s to the early 1970s. He's taunted the police by sending cryptic letters and cards throughout the decade, and the unidentified killer ceased communication abruptly around 1974. So my man out here just mysterious and killing people all in the same breath.
Yes, and we're not gonna do like super detailed or like super great like background into this, just because everybody knows about the Zodiac Killer.
Right.
So it kind of just seems pointless,
Mm-hmm.
and useless. But it is a fact that they still
don't
know who he is till this day. So.
And they have a couple of speculations, but still nothing's been like proven.
Yeah, but it's not like solid. Like we've got the guy.
Right.
So the Zodiac Killer had very many victims, and his killings were very brutal. I would say very brutal, and honestly, just by how brutal they were, you could almost say they were personal, but not like in a literal personal sense, but more of like an interpersonal.
Yeah, it's a broadly
sense.
Personal type deal. Because it's not like he targeted specific people.
Like how it could be like sometimes there's killers that will specifically target like women.
Mm-hmm.
Or children, or men, or whatever, or black people, or whatever they choose to, target. So I feel like that's like still personal, but it's like an interpersonal thing because somebody probably traumatized them,
right?
Sometime at some point in their life that resembled what they're trying to express and release, pretty much.
I don't know, man.
Like that hatred.
It's so weird because like. What could have been,
Yeah. 4 separate attacks have been directly attributed to the Zodiac Killer. The first one is the night of December 20th, 1968. David Faraday, who was 17 years old, and his girlfriend, Betty Lou Jensen, who was 16 years old, were in a remote location off of Lake Herman Road near the outskirts of Vallejo, Cali. That sounds nice. I've never been to Vallejo. I don't think. Maybe we should go one day.
I'm down.
I think it's pretty from what I've heard. But then again, all of Cali is pretty.
Yeah.
And there was no motive determined. So the next one is early in the morning of July 5th, 1969, Darlene Farron, the age of 22, and her boyfriend, Mike Magoo. I hope I said that right.
I hope so too, because I don't know how to say it either.
Or Majal. Mike.
Just let it be.
Mike,
Magoo, Michelle, we'll figure it out.
I think it's Mike Majal. Who was the age of 19, were sitting in a parked car in a similarly remote Vallejo location when they were approached by a man with a flashlight. The figure fired multiple shots at them, killing Farron and seriously wounding Majal. Despite fingerprints being found and a given description, police were still unable to track down Zodiac. And really, like, this guy was, or woman, was very good at evading the police. Like, they were very close to the crime scenes and the investigations and the police and the public and the media, but they were like so far away.
Yeah.
Like,
right.
They were like, under the radar, but they were right there with them.
It literally had to be. But it was a man, though. Like, there's no woman. It was strictly man. Because the description given, it says the man was white, 5'8" to 5'9", late 20s to early 30s, with a stocky build, a round face, and brown hair.
Oh. Well then, yeah, a man.
His third set of victims. This happened on the evening of September 27th, 1969. He approached young couple Cecilia Shepard and Brian Hartnell. They were relaxing on an isolated part of the shore of Lake Berryessa in Napa County. Wearing a hood and a shirt bearing a circle cross symbol, he tied them up before brutally stabbing them. Which is like...
And, like it wasn't one way either. Like, he would kill them all differently.
Yeah, different ways. Like, he shot one...
But you notice it's always couples.
Yeah, that is crazy. Except for his fourth victim. On October 11th, 1969, he shot 29-year-old taxi driver Paul Stein in San Francisco's Presidio Heights neighborhood. As the murder did not seem to fit the Zodiac's pattern, it was initially deemed a robbery until the San Francisco Chronicle received a letter claiming the crime.
Because he wanted to be known.
Right.
He wanted to tease the police and play with the media and really just, like, pick at everybody's heartstrings, really. And just say, like, oh, I'm doing all this. I'm right here. I'm so close. But you guys will never find me. You guys won't know. And I'm going to make sure of that. Like, I'm always going to be one step ahead,
that's the thing. Like, he would claim, like, each of his crimes, too. It's not like he just claimed one and didn't care about the other one, like, all of them.
Yeah, because he would send letters or he would make calls to the police station yeah, all types of stuff. He was bold. Very bold, I would say.
For sure.
Now we're going to go ahead and take the time to thank our sponsors. And we'll get right back to you. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. It's free and it's easy to use.
There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast straight from your phone or computer, making it the best user experience around.
Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more, making it so you don't have to upload to each individual platform.
And the best thing about it, you can make money straight from your podcast with no minimum listenership.
It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place.
So please, download the free Anchor app or go to Anchor FM to get started. And that's Anchor.fm, spelled ANCHOR.FM.
So what are you doing? Download the free Anchor app now.
Hey guys, welcome back. So, now reading into letters, symbols, and ciphers. The Zodiac Killer was really big on being cryptic with his messages to the police. So, throughout the decade, the Zodiac Killer would commit his crimes, call and claim them, and on some occasions, well, most occasions, send letters that contained symbols and some English lettering so you can make sense of the symbols and what he was writing.
It was kind of like his own language in a sense, or like his like secret code writing. And it's funny because back in middle school and like late elementary school days, early middle school days, I was a little nerd and a little weird. I actually created my own like secret handwriting so nobody could like read what I was writing and stuff in journals. Yeah. And I had like a little page with like the letters next to English letters so I could remember like what symbols mean what.
I've seen that and it reminds me of like back in school when they used to have us doing like these little activities where they would do stuff like that. They'd have like little symbols at the bottom or like this and that to have you try to figure it out. And
so that's really how he got his name. Is because of that.
Yeah.
Because of the symbols. And it's nothing to do with zodiac signs, guys.
Yeah.
Ooh.
What?
Well, I was thinking, so we did get a request recently to do something funny. I was thinking we could do, like, ratings, like, zodiac signs or something. That'd be pretty funny. Or, like, our thoughts. No? Okay. All right, fine. We'll do something else. Anyways. So, yeah, if you guys...
I like how you didn't even let me answer. I would have said yeah. If you had said that.
Since we're on the topic of zodiac signs and zodiacs, what's your zodiac sign? Comment it down below. I'm cutting that out. Comment your zodiac sign down below. And yeah, I want to know. I'm curious.
Hell yeah.
I want to know like who be watching us. Like who's the weird? Like who are the weird ones? You know?
It's probably a good...
Because, like, I'm a Scorpio, so it's almost kind of like, of course I'm going to talk about this. But you, a Taurus?
I hate it. I don't even know why I hate it so much. I guess because it's like I've always heard it. Like even growing up, I've always heard people talk about it. So I guess I just have like a thing where I just hate hearing about it.
Okay, fine. Well, we just will block it all out. Go.
You can't get mad.
Go.
And so these symbols that he would use, they became like cryptic ciphers to figure out his true identity, because that's mainly why he did it, why he made them, so they could try to figure out who he was.
Right.
But he
like
knew
a game.
But he knew it was going to be hard, because he's like,
Oh yeah, he wasn't going to make that shit easy for him.
So he taunted them about his real identity for the better part of a decade, from the 60s to the 70s. And it's only recently that a part of his cipher has actually been decoded. And that's like over 50 years.
Yeah. I remember hearing about that too, like a couple years back.
Yeah.
And I think it was like some students or something.
Yeah.
Out of college,
I forget.
or
Actually, I should have put it in here. I didn't put it in here.
but yeah.
Yeah.
Do your own research. But
Yeah.
that was like the most recent thing that came out about it.
Right. And the message read, "I hope you're having lots of fun and trying to catch me. That wasn't me on the TV show, which brings up a point about me. I'm not afraid of the gas chamber, because it will send me to paradise all the sooner, because I now have enough slaves to work for me, where everyone else has nothing when they reach paradise, so they are afraid of death. I am not afraid, because I know that my new life will be an easy one in paradise death." Yeah, usually when he would write these, they'd be kind of wacky.
Definitely cryptic.
Yeah, they'd be kind of wacky. And like he would often misspell things and like stuff like that too.
And I wonder if he did that on purpose though. Like,
yeah, no, definitely.
Put the missing letters together.
symbolism.
Yeah. Like he was probably really smart. And that's just the thing. He was probably just super smart, and they weren't smart enough. Well, I don't want to say that.
Yeah, they couldn't have been 50,
But
50 years, and college students had to figure it out. Like, you guys, top notch.
But kudos to them, because
definitely.
that's a nice little flex.
That's a big one. Like,
yeah,
I figured out what the Zodiac Killer was saying.
Right.
His most notable symbols were a Z and a circle with a cross in the middle, or some of you might know it as a crosshair.
What's a crosshair?
It's literally like, you know how you have a scope on a gun? It's like the circle.
Nope, I don't know what that is. Nope, I don't know.
Yeah, it's a circle with a cross in the middle.
Okay. So, guys, that is all the material, honestly. We didn't want to get super detailed with it or super deep just because it's a very saturated topic.
Yeah.
But it is going along with the FNC series. So, yeah, that's all we have. That's the Zodiac Killer. And that is California.
A couple of questions about it, though. So, do you think he's still alive? Do you think he's still out there?
Well, given with how recent this was and the conversation that we had earlier from, what we were talking about earlier, I'm pretty sure he is still alive. People from that time are alive.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. But then again, he might not be. I mean, stuff happens, so.
Yeah, life happens,
I don't know.
Could have had an accident.
But I feel like if he were still alive, like, why would he stop killing? If he knew that he would just keep getting away with it, why would he stop? So I don't think he is. Or maybe he just got tired of it. I don't know. Maybe he got bored.
Or maybe he's in prison for something else. Or
Oh, maybe.
Because, I mean, seeing as how we don't know exactly who he
But you would think, like, maybe he would be causing up chaos in prison if that were the case.
I mean, maybe.
But then again, when do we hear about what goes on in prison?
Right.
Yeah, okay. And the next question is, do you think he's alive or not?
I personally believe so. I believe he's somewhere
staying under the radar, playing it safe. He had his little, I don't even want to call it fun, but had his little, his little escapade, and now
he's just old and like.
Well, yeah, of course, yeah, he's definitely old now if he is alive. The second question is, where do you think he is now if he's alive? And not in California.
Right.
That would be dumb. Honestly, I would say if he was smart, he would be out the country somewhere.
I mean, yeah, but at the same time, they don't know who it is, so he could literally be.
That is true, but like, why would you?
Yeah, that would make sense to me. Just stay there.
Yeah, no.
And the last question, it's kind of a out there question. Do you believe the Zodiac Killer is one specific person?
Ooh.
Because, like, do you think over time it's become an idea as opposed to just a single person?
I'm sure there were, like, mock...
Like copycatters?
Yes, I'm sure there were copycats. But then again, that was, like, after the fact. But as far as those specific killings and, you know, those lives that were lost, right. I have a feeling that it was the same person. Like, there's a pattern there. He was definitely a serial killer.
Right.
Like... there's no ifs, ands, or buts about that.
And the reason I even asked that question is because, like, there's been speculation that there's been a couple of people throughout, like, history.
Well, yes, and that could make sense, too, because how can you successfully get away with killing 2 people at one time when you're just
multiple
one person? And that's what I'm saying. You continuously get away with it and succeed every time. So it is a possibility that there was a, you know, counterpart or whatever.
Right. A lot of people have been speculating that it's been like Charles Manson, his crew. People have thought that it was the Unabomber. They thought it was Ted.
Yeah, because there was a lot of people out and about at that time.
They thought it was Ted.
What if it was Ted Bundy?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Dang.
Oh my God. Hold on though. Speaking of Ted Bundy, like the fact that let me see. Ted Bundy. Because the fact that there are people alive like Ted Bundy. Okay. But like, when was he born? He was born in the 40s. Yeah, the fact that there are people alive like Ted Bundy back in like the 40s, 50s, 60s. It's just very daunting to me, and it's very scary because I don't want to say we're traumatized, but we just finished this anthology series on Amazon Prime called Them, and it was tough.
Yeah.
Very tough.
It's a tough watch, but it's a must watch at the same time.
Oh yeah, it's really good. You guys should watch it, but it's just very hard to endure. It's kind of like on the lines of When They See Us, like how the material in that movie or that like 4-part movie was hard to endure at times.
Yeah, it's very...
this show was like that, but like tenfold. It's
very
10
tough
times
to digest.
over. Yeah, it is. But it's like back in this time, like frame, I guess you could say, this era.
Yeah.
And it's just scary to think that there were people like this out and about. On top, like being a black person, there are people like this out and about on top of racism being as prevalent as it was.
Right.
Like, it's still prevalent till this day. But with these types of people, like, that's just scary. You know, like, just to know that, like, the Ted Bundys and the Zodiac Killers and, like, all this, that, and the third. Like, yeah, Charles Manson's, like, all these folks were, like, running around while black people were already going through enough. Like, it's just crazy to think about.
And it gets even weirder because there were also black serial killers too, but that's a story for a whole other episode.
Oh yeah. There's all types of different serial killers. Yeah. It's not subjective to one race or culture or whatever you want to call it.
To be honest, let's look at the track record. It's not
not a good one.
Yeah.
Not. But yes. Highly recommend the show Them. It's 10 episodes, and
if you have Amazon Prime, it's free.
It's free. It was really, really good, but very hard to stomach. So go into it with an open mind. If you are younger, don't watch it. I would say wait till you're older, like over 18.
Traumatize yourself, man. Hey, that's not our
Let's not condone trauma. So yeah. Do you have anything else?
Nah.
For today?
Right now. Nope.
Nothing.
All
right, guys. So this has been episode 12 and FNC part 5 or 6. Just bear with me. It'll be in the title. You'll know.
Whichever one it is.
Yes, the Zodiac Killer in California. So I've been your host, Sav.
And I've been your host, DJ. My friends, stay light, stay bright, and stay positive.
And we will catch you guys next week on another episode of Deeper Than Most. And we're going to go enjoy our little picnic now.
Yeah.